then it just pops up. It never, like, it's always like, oh, it's gonna be there in a second, but
Like YouTube's got like the weird like 10-second delay,
yeah,
and
yeah.
sometimes it's 30 seconds, sometimes it's 5. I never figured it out.
Did I tell you I'm streaming on Periscope and Mixer and Twitch also?
Really?
I'm
Dude,
loving it. I'm loving it.
how's that working out? Like how do you actually get that many channels? I mean, no, Restream is like real cool to let you do that, but
Yeah,
like you get
yeah.
some traction with that?
No, do I get, what was that last part?
Traction.
You know what? Listen, no one else on Twitch. First of all, I was in the wrong stream. I was on the wrong channel on oh, people coming in already. That's what I love seeing. I was on the wrong stream or wrong channel on Twitch, and someone's like, listen, you're in the maker section. You need to be in the science and whatever section. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I'm not even coding. They're like, yeah, you need to be there. You need to be there, bud. On the maker channel, it's kind of weird on Twitch. You can see all kinds of stuff. And for everyone that's watching, welcome. People stream themselves like building Lego sets. You can find anything on Twitch. So I'm kind of over there. We'll see what happens.
Why not throw funnels here? Why not actually like build a business online?
This is what I'm like. So technically, so I have one of our clients works at Twitch, and I said, I want you to check. As far as I know, and he checked 3 times, we have the #1 business show, ranking business show on Twitch right now.
Dude, nice.
I'll take it. Now, is that a huge number? Not at all. But we'll take it. We'll take the title.
You can market that. You can put that at the top of the site and everything. You put in your welcome email when people join the list.
You better believe it. So, we'll see what happens. All right, everyone. Good people coming in. We're on a couple different platforms. We should be in Marketplan.io, that Facebook group. I'm checking some of the people on Facebook. I'm seeing some people say, hey, what's up? Mark, good afternoon. Mark from Australia, always watching the streams. Nyota, thank you. Nyota is actually going to be signing up for Marketplan coming up. So we're getting all kinds of people to make sure that they're getting ready. So let me share my screen.
Let's dive in.
Let's do this. So real quick, everyone. Hey, everyone. Nice to see you. My name is Doc Williams. We have a guest star in the building tonight, all the way from Marketplan. Tyler, tell the good people who you are, and thank you so much for being here.
What's going on, guys? Tyler from Marketplan.io. I'm the CEO of Marketplan, and basically from the ground up, any of you guys who have been with Marketplan, even from the early days, we started off as a business back in 2016 that we inherited called Conversion Fly, and the whole stats and analytics side of things of the marketing world. And basically just from going up from there, we've built on apps, Convert Pages, and now Marketplan.io of just solving a bunch of business problems that we originally ourselves ran into and said, there's probably other people with this problem. And about a year ago when we launched Marketplan, we found out a lot of people shared the same issues. So that's what we're covering today.
Good times. Love it. So if you are watching from another channel or something like that, we welcome you in. This is Build With Me. I build 3 businesses with 1 tool every single night. We have the pleasure to be with our friends with Marketplan because they have totally changed my business for the better. And I try to talk about them as much as possible. I think I got like 3 people from our group that are starting and using Marketplan this week. Nancy last week, by the way, got her first sale. We helped her on Saturday. By Tuesday, she closed her first sale with Marketplan in building all of her marketing funnels to that.
Sweet. Congratulations, Nancy. I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah. So this is good stuff. So this is episode 37. Now, if you look at my screen, there are a couple things that we are changing up. I'm trying this new widget from Repurpose. Is it working? I'm not really sure if I really like it yet. So, bear with me, but you know how we're always trying to innovate. If not, I will see your Daniel. Howdy. Daniel, where are you calling? Where are you from? Good to see you. So we're going to do that tonight. If anything happens, just bear with us because we have wonderful people here that are going to help you with your business. And Tyler was so gracious with his time. It's 11 p.m. on the East Coast, and he's just doing this with us. So really do appreciate it. Now, with Marketplan, we talked about it off air before we did it. What was your idea? What we're going to get into tonight? What are we going to do with Marketplan?
I mean, ultimately with Marketplan, like what is the purpose of even having a plan? Well, it's to basically know what exactly is going on with your marketing and how to start from the ground up. Like, how do we answer just the very baseline question of how do you build a business? How do you take your business idea or take your current marketing situation and make order in the chaos? And that's basically like the whole reason why we even built Marketplan in the first place. I figured that was just a good place for us to start tonight, where we can just talk about like whenever you actually get started marketing online, when you start going down the rabbit holes of, oh, okay, let me get all my various social media channels up and going. Let me make sure if I need to do content marketing, where am I? Do I have a blog? Do I have my main site? Where's all my leads coming from? How am I monetizing? Where am I storing all those things? There's so many pieces to marketing online. And really the goal of Marketplan is to help you take all those pieces that just feels like this chaos and it clambers in onto you. And you can be able just to paint a very clear picture of your business, of your marketing campaigns, of what you're doing, and bring it all into one place, assign tasks, even bring team members in, and being able to tell the whole story so that even for your own sake, if you're marketing by yourself, you can figure out, hey, this is what I'm actually doing. And a lot of times whenever you just map out what you're doing online on a little whiteboard, even if you drew one on a whiteboard yourself on your own wall, you'll do a quick sanity check on yourself to realize, yeah, maybe I bit off more than I can chew. And you can get things a lot more organized and get things in a place where things are actually manageable. Or even if you've got an elephant in front of you, to pace yourself to finish an elephant by the end of the year.
Good times, good times. So, Tyler, let me ask you this. Would it be best for you to show your screen and kind of walk through, or do you want me to go through my account and how I've used it over time? What would be best to kind of help the audience? Right now, people are still saying, yes, I'm excited, good times. My screen. What would you like? Yeah.
Well, I'd say this. We can start off on your account to show up just some basic funnels, because I know you guys got a little bit of reputation in terms of different types of client situations that you guys have, or just even certain profiles. Like you guys got your profiles set up. I've actually got some funnels that already preloaded with some stats on it that we can go through later on. So how about we start off on your end? And also, I think would probably be a good thing is if we ask some people in the chat if they can just have some mock business ideas. And maybe we can even just start off in the ground level of what people are even doing. I mean, and really just like let's just build a business from the bottom up. Like let's start with a blank canvas and let's just go.
Good times. I love it. I love it. Yeah, let's go right into it. So I'm going to share my screen. Now, my screen is a little bit of controlled chaos. So this is a couple different things that I do, right? So I have my main funnel that I use for Brand Factory. And then for my beta clients, when I'm basically doing my discovery calls, then I'll either come and build here or just talk. And so, Tyler, is it bad? I'm seeing that face. Is that a bad thing? Is my account looking jacked up?
I'm looking at this. I'm thinking about this, man. How about I go ahead and share my screen? Because we can actually just go through some basic flows over here. Because I realize you run things from an agency perspective, and I think because I think a lot of the people inside of here tonight, I mean, you tell me, just some people. Oh,
a lot of them are starting out. And that was. Did you notice, everyone, that Tyler was basically saying your account is full of crap and it's too much? That was a very nice way of saying stop showing people that. So right. Yeah. No. A lot of people. So let's go back. So a lot of people are starting out with it. A lot of people are building their very first funnel with it as well. I'm
not that far off, man, either. So I got a lot of points over here. So, but what I do want to just like kind of show is just like, so like if you're starting your business online, where do you even begin? And it's like, what do you even try? And here's the concept that from marketing, I think can really help a lot of people is because people are looking like, okay, how do I even know what to do? Because what we just talked about earlier, marketing online is a massive task. Like to be able to build a brand and successfully market it identify your target audiences, identify everything that you like know, okay, which social media channels should you be actually pushing, know like what content you need to be producing, and also know where you need to be positioning yourself in the marketplace. These are things that you're always refining and always building and always establishing when you actually have your own brand and you're bringing forth your own marketing. So when you're from the ground level, how do you start? And the answer to that question is start. And so one of the ideas that's popular is building something called an MVF, which is a minimum viable funnel, which is really just like starting and just saying like, get at least one funnel concept where you can get some leads in the door, get one concept where you can just get something that works, be able to either get like one traffic channel going, get ads on one particular platform, build just one set of pages, just do something really simple with a very simple product or service or whatever you're offering. Just get something there so that you can test something and prove whether or not what you're doing is even remotely viable or even has any remote impact on where you're even barking up the tree in regards to the market that you're in, and knowing what channels you're even playing on. And when you start at that base level, you can really get an idea of where you even need to go. So it's like we have tons of cool little templates inside of here inside Marketplan. And again, Marketplan's like it's free. You can start off totally free and just run right in. So when you jump in, we've got a bunch of these just basic just example plans that we actually built to help people just start off from the ground floor. Like if you just want to say, all right, I just want to gather leads online. I want to get a list. I don't have a product. Maybe I want to get inside of affiliate marketing. Like, what's a great way to get started? Get some emails, get a list. Email marketing is one of those things where, I mean, when Facebook changes one rule on you and then you no longer can use Facebook Messenger bots successfully anymore, or there's some compliancy issue with some other thing and you lose out all of your stuff, email marketing channel has been the same, has been a constant over the years, and is a synchronous way for you to navigate between each of your different platforms and channels that you have to be able to have actually a base following. And so a great way to start with just about anything is build a list. So here's a real basic funnel that we have over here that is just get a lead magnet, get some traffic in, and get some leads. And what do you think, Doc? You think that's a good place to start off tonight?
Yeah, I really think so. Everyone needs leads. A lot of people are asking, okay, from social media, I want to get attention. I'm trying to do that. And I love it. Like I always try to say shout out to you guys. Minimal viable funnels. Like we were talking about this last week, and
Nice.
Nyota actually took action, created an MVF for her business. And so, it's a really good concept. And I've always appreciated that. And it's been from you guys. So I think that's a good point. I will just say one thing, just so some of the people see. So you build from left to right on your screen. Is that normally how you do it?
It honestly, it just depends with how you're running campaigns.
Okay.
Like for demo purposes and making something really pretty, especially for when you're doing something for clients. So let's just like, we're going to jump in a different box for a second. Let's say you're an agency owner. And right now, Doc, you and I are on a screen share call. I'm trying to sell you as my client. I'm going to go ahead and build a funnel that would look like this so that I'm not having to scroll around and do all this stuff to explain to you what's going on. If I'm able to get my entire funnel just appear on the screen right here, and it just looks like it's in one place, I can sit here and pitch to you and say, hey, this is what I want to do with your business. I see that you have your current blog. I see that you've got this opt-in channel. I see right here, I can go ahead and build you a lead magnet here. And here we can sell your 2 different offers over here. And I even want to experiment with an upsell over here. And this is where I can go ahead and run some projections for you over here. And I want to make sure that I can go ahead and run you numbers that would look like this. So we could go ahead and start getting some serious revenue to your business. Doc, you want to do a deal with me this month?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. I don't know what you're selling, but I'll do it. I saw some numbers. I need money.
There you go. So it's like I build left to right, especially for presentation purposes, just for just the value of someone looks at this and you can see it. If you're on a monitor that's widescreen, building horizontally helps, especially for shorter funnels. But sometimes you've got some crazy funnels that look very daunting. And so I'll tell you with those types of funnels, Here, I'll even just sneak in and show you one of mine. Dude, like these things can get super, super long. Let me go into, I think it's the official.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
Yeah. Once you start using plans for a while, you end up just like realizing, oh yeah, wait a second, we do a lot of promotions.
See, I usually go, and mine's always top down, but I'm always thinking about it as a funnel. So I'm always building it straight down like that. That's how I usually do it.
Yeah, I happen to do vertical over here, but like there's like certain funnels where I have. I'm trying to find like where I just put like the new homepage. Is it front engagement? Where did I just do this? Like I just did this plan somewhere. I gotta go find it. But nevertheless, I have like a funnel where basically it's like this thing's just like it's massive. Like it takes across the entire screen. It like scrolls down several pages, and it's just.
Are you using all of your convert, and then you integrate it with convert pages as well? All of your funnels?
Convert pages integration incoming.
Okay.
But basically what we do now is because with Marketplan, like once you load up your like you want to start in Marketplan because if you're just going to build your funnels outright first, then it's like, well, then you basically just jump the gun. It's like you want to just make sure like you actually have a plan that makes even sense to you. So it's like even just like this real simple plan like right here. By the way, 2.0 Marketplan 2.0 is it's coming soon. Like this is the plan. Like we're actually like launching this thing.
Are you going to show a preview to these people or no? Are you just going to do this to them?
Maybe towards the end. Depends on the night goes.
All right. Yep. More. Let Tyler know. Listen, I can't do this. It's up to him. He makes the rules on this one. So
see what the chat says.
Yeah. But, please tell people.
Yeah, but let's jump back on focus over here because I want to be respectful of everyone's time. Let's make sure we're not doing a 2-hour stream like how we normally do. So let's dive in. But back to MVF, back to positioning where, hey, you are the marketer. You are someone who's starting off and you're just wanting to get a good foundation. You wanted to get something going so you can actually start having leads that you can start monetizing, start marketing to, produce valuable content, and maybe even do affiliate marketing with. You want to get some type of foundation there so that you can establish not only a reputation for yourself, but build trust with people. And the best way you can provide long-term engagement is, hey, have their email address. You can always keep pinging them, and especially when you're in the B2B world, you like email is a channel that people are very much so on in the B2B world. So anyway, so this is why I'm just sticking over here with the basic lead magnet. Like the funnel plan is real simple itself. So it's like we've got a really simple plan over here. So it's like we can just go ahead and just build this exact same funnel that you see here. And let's just walk it through from scratch just to show you how actually, because I see a lot of times that I get questions from this from the community too. It's like they see this and they see, oh, hey, cool little pictures. Like, let me just drag something out in a map and just say, cool, I mapped out my funnel, yay. But actually, like, how is this useful? And this is where I really want to show you guys like how each of these components are useful into Marketplan. So let's use this environment right here. So like this right here, Twitter ad. If we came inside of here right now and I went ahead and I actually started saying, I'm going to start planning out some ads. Or let's say, let me flip this guy to Facebook real quick. So let's say these are Facebook ads. And so I'm right here. I have a target goal. I'm trying to actually reach out to a cold audience right now. And I just want to start with just some basic ads. I want to just I want to set something small, like let's say like a $10 a day budget. Like I'm strapped for funds, and I just want to poke around and see if I can even get any leads to convert, or anyone to even convert to a lead. So if you're putting out a lead magnet, you're putting that out into your ads, just trying to see what can you even grab. Well, try some different strategies. Let's say that you can go ahead and put an assortment of, let's say, image ads and video ads. We can go ahead inside of Marketplan and actually build these things, or at least build the fundamentals of how you're going to plan out what you're doing. So let's look right here. I already had two of these guys inside of here, but let's get a little bit of variety over here. Let's say if we're just starting off, we're on a very limited budget. I mean, and Doc, like you tell me, like, if you ever work with anyone who's really just starting off, or like if you're going to give counsel to someone who's starting off, I mean, if they just make, let's say you did one video, one image, and you had just a couple pieces of copy, if you ended up coming up with 6 different ad variations from that, do you think with $1,000 and 6 ad variations, can you get a much better idea with how you market? Would that give you a good base?
Yeah, I mean, $1,000, shoo. I can do that with half of that, right? With that many different things, I think it's a really good start. And definitely with the fluctuation of pricing for ads right now, especially on different platforms, I can get a very good scope of my audience and see what's working, and then dive in a little bit deeper to have my intended conversions that I'm looking for. Definitely with 1,000. Usually I don't even start that high, but with 1,000, we can make something happen.
It's solid. So let's back off over here, and this is where I'd say you work a lot more so in this area, especially with getting people off the ground. So I'm saying over here, like, let's say we build like tell me, like, if you got, let's dial back to $500. Like, let's get a total budget here of $500. You tell me what 6 ads that you would run here. Like, what 6 types of ads would you run on Facebook to just test out an audience to try to gather leads?
Okay, so I'm going to be real honest with you. For me, I even go super lean. I'm either going to go with a custom audience I'm trying to get warm leads so I can make my spend last a little bit longer. So I'm going to either have a custom audience and just build it in from that. If I'm going to do a brand awareness campaign and just see what happens with new people that I'm trying to get into the funnel, I'm going to have a campaign where I'm going to try to get them to either opt in with an email, or maybe this isn't where you want to go, Tyler. I would try to do something with Messenger just so I can get it a little bit cheaper.
Then how about we do a little bit of all the above?
Cool.
So how about 2 messenger ads? So we can experiment with 2 different ads. We'll do messenger ad 1 and we can go ahead and just enter in the basic copy of what we're doing. And let's say if you're doing video ads, and if you also had a video, an image ad inside of here, whatever that lead magnet is, you can go ahead and actually plan out what each of the components actually go into this. So like, I can come inside of here and lay out, okay, here are my ads. I actually want to spend a certain amount of money. I want to make sure I have a certain budget set. And I also want to be able to make sure I have a log of tasks, so I actually know what I need to do. So let's go ahead and just start assigning tasks for me. Let's first off and say, we need to budget our ads. And so I'm going to say budget ads. I'm going to assign a task and put that to myself. And so, or I'll give it to Ty, because I guess Ty's the only one in this funnel. So I'm assigning this task right here over here to Ty. And right now inside of our Kanban module, which is sitting behind each of these apps, you'll see this task just got created. So it's budget ads, it's in to do, and I've got this now. And so I now actually have a Kanban built into Marketplan where I can be taking every single one of these tasks. And as you just saw, a little red one popped up over here because there's a pending task for me to do. I can go ahead, take this, not only assign stuff to even myself, just to keep myself organized, but I can get this to the entire team. So I can say budget ads for message ad 1, message 2, and you can just keep going down the road over here of all your different checklist items. And even individual checklist items, I can go ahead and assign to certain people and go on from there. So if you have a marketing team and you have multiple people working with you, from a project management perspective, you can go ahead and get things organized really fast. You could just sit down, be the marketing head, get the plan together so that you can go ahead and divvy out these tasks. And then you hop on a quick meeting for 30 minutes with your whole team and say, hey guys, I already went inside Marketplan. I built out the funnel. Here's all your to-dos, guys. Let's go ahead and execute an MVF. And you can have all these things organized. So you can actually get that MVF out much faster because you know actually what needs to be done. And so these tasks can be going from every perspective, because you can assign these tasks to even individual ads as well. So I actually did this wrong here. Sorry. This would be a task that's contextual to this ad. When I go to this ad over here, I'm going to have another task inside of this. And so this is its own task, which is like, hey, I need to draft the ad copy. Okay, so when am I actually going to do that? So let's say I'd say this text says, we're not going to be that creative. It's 11:30 right now tonight. But if we just do that, we put some tasks out, I can go ahead and say, all right, cool, we did this. I'm going to go ahead and mark this as done. It's very simple just to go ahead and you can just use your imagination here, how you can apply this across your entire ad campaign. You can say here and say, okay, for every single component, I need to produce the video. I need to go ahead and make links. I need to go ahead and get images. I need to go ahead and, or just write, draft the copy for it and refine it. Maybe have other people review it. You can take all these different things to have your entire team collaborate to keep yourself organized about what you actually even need to do. And when actually it comes down to things like budgeting, like we can go ahead and use the projections inside Marketplan to go ahead and budget these things. So let's say I can go ahead and budget this guy and say for this individual ad, I only want to spend, let's say $50 on this particular ad. And same thing for this one too. And so if I do that between all these ads over here, I now have a total budget of $500 for what I have set up over here. And so when we come inside of Marketplan, when we go through and we actually plan out and we project our traffic to go from each of these different pages, we can go from every single stage of the marketing journey. And so that takes us to the next part. When you actually get the pages inside of Marketplan right here, when you drop in your first page, whatever we would be putting in for the actual opt-in, you would actually just dump in your lead magnet URL right here. You can put it right in, and now you've got your page ready to go right inside of here. And what you can also do too, and this is, and so I know we were just talking about ads, but let's just jump into the pages real quick because I want to be, we can just move on real fast time-wise. But what you can do with Marketplan is this Marketplan app is actually a whole nother mini app that allows you to organize each piece of your marketing. So it's not just the ads, it's not just doing emails, it's pages, it's being able to like take your social plan. It's being able to plan out all your different keywords. We took all these different mini apps that allow you to basically plan out different pieces and core pieces of your marketing so that you can do what I just showed you with the ad module to each component of how you market online. So if we just kind of broad scope real quick, you're getting a dashboard over here where you're able to just organize to-dos for literally everything you're doing and bring it back all into one place. So you can take the really daunting tasks, like when you actually sit down to market, I'm sure many of you like have felt that before. When you sit down, you actually go to market and you actually start doing things, you get overwhelmed super fast because you feel like there's no end to the journey. And because the truth of the matter is, to successfully market online, there's an endless line of tasks to do. Your work is basically never done from what it feels like. And so when you actually are able to sit down and take the time to plan, like you're like playing a good game, you're going to need to put in strategy. You're going to need to sit down and actually map out what you need to do. And this is part of why we even created this app, is to say, hey, if you actually discipline yourself in the planning side of things to go through, actually make these type of tasks out for yourself, or to go through and just to even put in a budget for yourself and then just test to see if it's even viable to work for you. Let's say with this particular ad over here, you went ahead and you just put in, let's say you wanted to simulate, like let's say if you got like 1,000 visitors or something from that ad, you could go ahead and type in what amount you want. You can be running projections, and you could just say, okay, what if I got a 30% opt-in rate? How is that actually going to benefit me? If I ended up getting like a 40% opt-in rate to the download page, how is that going to benefit me? You're going to be able to take each of these components over here and get something useful for you to do, so that before you even start spending precious startup capital, before you start throwing $500 in ads, you're actually going to get something that's beneficial to use. So,
good times.
So I want to give you some space talk because I've been chatting over here for a little bit.
No,
we can go keep diving in.
No, I'm just answering questions. I'm talking in the chat. This is good stuff. I think even like you were saying, and this is a couple things when I'm using Marketplan, I don't even like, there's so much that you can do with it, right? Even with the ads perspective and then looking at the overarching, like for me, even when I start using this, like I'm going to be real with you, for most of my business, I was always bootstrapping and I didn't even have enough for ads. I just straight looked at how could I use Marketplan to focus on all the organic traffic that I was getting, or how to make sure that I was being conscious of how to move them through the funnel, all organic. And then from there, experimenting with blogs and JV partners and warm leads, and then go into ads, almost like seasoning on top of my funnel. So this is a really good way that you approached it right here, because I think also it helps for marketing agencies that might have a little bit more money to play with at first to really think about how they get that awareness, get more leads. I think it's a really good idea what you went through right there. And that perspective I just didn't think of. So I like that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, there's many schools of thought, and I mean, I'm sure as much as like you show with your entire with who you walk through and all the businesses that you've helped out in your years of marketing online, there's many different schools of thought, and so ultimately, what it comes down to is like what will work for you, and you find out what works for you when you do it. So
yeah, bro, like that's exactly like what you're saying. Honestly, so many times I feel like I hear a lot of people like, oh, I'm going to start becoming a funnel hacker. I want to start being a marketer and I need all these tools. I'm like, bro, like, are you starting though? Like what you just said, like, are you even starting? And a lot of times people are like, I need it to be perfect. I need these features. Well, are you even pitching? Are you even doing those things yet? Well, if you're not even doing that, well, that's all water under the bridge. Like these things will help you later on, but you need to establish, how are you talking to people? How are you monitoring talking to people? What's the next steps? And then you go from there. So that's why I like just using when I'm planning out things and seeing all of these things, I'm looking at it almost on the reverse side. I'm already trying to get warm leads or get people to understand they need marketing. And then I'm using Marketplan to just show them the possibilities, because most people's marketing funnels suck. They don't even exist because it's so haphazard. So marketing plan just allows me to think a lot clearer and to articulate and teach people what they're missing in their business and why they need me to get to the next level.
And there, from just in the agency perspective, you can just put in tons of values to say, okay, here, like I actually have a plan that we can actually do something now. Like we can actually get started over here. Like we can actually say, all right, you've got all these pieces. Like maybe you built a website. Like maybe back in the day, you built your initial like website on Wix or something. Especially if you're playing with the brick and mortar world. Like let's get real. Like if you have brick and mortar, like there's like right now the brick and mortar world is like suffering tremendously. But let's say there's tons of clients who have their websites and they started off on Wix and they have like little to no foundation. It's like, how do you start off with a client like that? It's like you got to build them up somehow. Like they need some type of base layer for them to work with. So once you're able to bring in a strategy where you're going to say, hey, I'm actually going to create some type of following inside of here. I'm going to go ahead and create something that actually brings tangible assets over here to you, so that marketing online doesn't seem like some big ambiguous thing that is just like, oh, somehow money comes from the internet. It's actually like, hey, like this is how it happens. And you can draw that line very clearly in front of people.
Cool. Love it. One person asked, Naoda asked, can you show us similarly to what Nancy did? This is a case of we had a case study last Saturday and we did it live. Do you mind if I do this real quick?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. So this is exactly what we did. Let me do a screen share. And I'm going to need to come back to you in a second, Tyler. I got a question for you that I have no answer to. So what happened was, okay, with Nancy she was looking to provide value to her client, and she had a 90-day plan of what she was going to do for her business, with her business helping other people. So what we did with Marketplan, I know Tyler's going to be like, man, he got to do it across from left. This is just this is just me, but I got to stop with this. What I was saying to her was, when you first come in here, I asked her, okay, how do you approach getting new clients? Number one, she was saying, well, her branding kit. So if I'm going to pitch a client and just talk it out in real time, I was first saying, okay, as a client, I'm talking to the client right now. Tyler, can you be the client real quick? Okay, cool. So like, Tyler, it's great. I saw that you had a brick and mortar business. You're a restaurant. I know you're hurt, falling on hard times. What's going on right now, right?
Yeah, man, it's things are really tight right now. I mean, we can only do to-go deliveries right now. So we're just looking up on trying how to even do online orders. I mean, like we're we're in a kind of tight place. So we need to get like a site going like now.
I got you. I got you. So right now, do you even have a website at all for your business?
Yeah, right now we've got a website that's up right now, and it's just giving people our menu and just giving them the location. It's kind of terrible. We built it off of Wix a while ago, and
I feel you.
we need to do something.
I gotcha. And do you have a lot of audiences? Do you have a large audience on social media right now? Do you get a lot of like people asking, are you still open? What's going on right now? Or do they go directly to your website mainly?
Yeah, we do have a Facebook page, and on that Facebook page, we get a lot of people asking about just like getting just information like, hey, are you guys actually still doing stuff? So we get some people messaging our page. So I feel like we get a good like most of our. I don't really know what even happens on our main website. So it seems like a lot of people talk to us more so on Facebook.
Are you feeling overwhelmed where, even on social, because so many people are coming at you all the time, like on your
Yeah.
Facebook page? How are you feeling?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think we're like I'm starting to. I mean, me and my wife over here, we both can go ahead and like handle all the messages, but it's something. It's like what do we even do? It's like we can just tell them, yeah, come on in, but like there's no real way to like manage these people or even follow up with them, or it's like I have to sit here and manually type to everyone to say, hey, just spread the word, tell people we're still open,
Oh
and
man.
just kind of hope.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work right there, man. I'm sorry to hear about that. Well, let me just real quick. I want to run something by you to see if this might help you in what you're dealing with. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure, love to hear it.
So what I see real quick is, and let me zoom in, let me zoom out so you see a little bit. One of my friends told me I have to start building this a little bit differently so I don't have to do what this is, but I'm going to focus on what I need to do right now. And that is, although I see right here, you're on social and your website right here, there's a disconnect and you're doing a ton of manual work in talking to people. What I want to do is start integrating a system where instead of you're talking all to them one to one, I'm actually putting a chat feature so I can actually so you can have all of those different leads actually talk to a chatbot so they can actually interact and get vital information to know if you're open at that time, and it can collect information for you to follow up later. Do you think that would help you?
That sounds way easier. I'm not really a tech person whenever it comes to that stuff, but if I don't have to be on my phone, then that helps me way more when I'm actually down at the shop.
Good times. And then what I can do is, even with that bot, say for instance, they're looking for different things, we can load it up directly with that menu. So then they can order, do all of those things. And then it automatically sends you a confirmation and you know their order and you know when they want to pick it up. How does that sound?
That would be super cool, especially like if I can have a way where I can even get my employees on that as well, so that like everyone can get that, everyone can get that information all at once, so I can get the whole team on it. That would be even better.
Good times. So, although I see this website, we're going to definitely do some stuff with it. We're definitely going to then later on connect, make sure that they have connection with you, see what's going on with the website. I really want to focus on what you're dealing with right now, that stress. I want to drop it down. And then later on, we'll have processes when they end up on the website. We'll make sure that. And then once they go to the website, because we already have the information from the chatbot, we'll be able to follow up with them with emails and make sure that we're giving them timely messages after that. What do you think?
That sounds really good, and
Good,
especially like if we can start driving some promos again and give some coupons to like really get some people back to the shop.
good times. So right there, how did that sound, Tyler?
Dude, that's a great pitch, man.
Cool.
I'm already sold.
Good times. So yeah, a lot of times when and I'll switch it back for a second. A lot of times when, kind of like Tyler was just talking about, just doing it, I think sometimes with Marketplan, it's not even building out a huge plan. I'm actively listening to what someone's saying in real time. And then from there, I'm like, okay, what are they really talking about? What are they stressed out about? What's going on here? And then I'm providing that solution in Marketplan, and then I'm giving them just a glimpse of what's possible when I'm going to build out later on. But for the most part, if they're already in need, they're already like, I'm drowning, I need help. Boom. Like, I'm selling them on that one component of my agency services or my services. Then I'm going to build into Marketplan. After we review, I'm going to say, Tyler, how did you feel? Oh man, this was the best weekend ever. I wasn't stressed. Great. Let me show you the rest of the plan and the infrastructure when I want to build for your marketing campaign so we can get people to come in, know what's going on, maybe not physically come in, but now that you can go for roads, a curbside pickup, and we can really start building that revenue again for your business. How does that sound?
Dude, that builds ton of equity with a client, and just like just to being able to bring that client agency relationship to a place where it's like, okay, I actually got a friend and there's actually someone I can trust right now. Like that's just value that you I mean, that's a priceless value, especially when it comes to retention for those types of clients, especially in this time.
Oh, gotcha. No worries, no worries. Real quick, maybe hopefully I'm not butchering the name. I think it's Sharky. I trust me, I have dyslexia, so please cut me a break. I do not mean to say that. We were asking, have you used it? He's basically wondering when does 2.0, because he's like, I got to work with it 2.0. I'll just put it this way, bro. Like, I know it might not be perfect what you want right now, but I'm about trying to make money with what's in front of me. So Marketplane's made me 4K this month. So it's coming. 2.0 is coming, but I'm about, if you can't get past that, you need to focus on how are you getting sales in your business right now. So next question, we're talking about Nyota, great things. Another question talking about project management. How can you use the platform for project management? And by the way, if you can't take the UI on that, have you ever used Textsaw? Because it took me 3.5 hours to set up one funnel on that. So trust me, there are other platforms. So can we talk about real quick with what does it look like for project management using this platform? Tyler, could you show, or you talked about Kanban and moving things around. Could you talk about that more?
Yeah, I dove in a little deeper pretty quick, but just to zoom back into what we were talking about before in terms of like project management, like this is where let me actually just get you guys like a legit funnel that we're doing. Let me see, actually, was this webinar? Oh yeah, we got some tasks in this webinar. So let me just delete some of this extra stuff that we put in. But here's a simple example. Like this is one of our webinar-based templates that we have. And when you actually like jump inside MPlan, like we even give you like plans that have preloaded tasks inside of the ad modules too. So you can just like literally get off and get going and start assigning tasks to people. But from the project management perspective, when you are the actual project, like when you are the person who is delegating these tasks to either virtual assistants to your team, you're able to sit inside of here, go inside each of these elements and say, okay, hey, my person who's designed my page, hey, go ahead, go on to like this web, like let's say for this registration page, I need to make sure that this page is actually designed right. So I want to make sure, or let's say I want to tell someone to go ahead and update the copy in the header. I want to make sure to tell someone, hey, we just need to redo the design. And I can go ahead and just simply go in here, assign these tasks, bring it on to the person who's my designer. So I can go here, assign this guy to, let's say I'll just assign it to myself real quick. And then I can go inside of this and say, new header. And then I can even put a comment inside of here and saying, we want to keep clean, white background. And we can just go ahead and just bring in little things like this, where the amount of points of contact you have to have with your team to be able to just get a task to move forward, it becomes significantly less. And what the thing about Marketplan is you're contextually applying these to-dos with right where you are working. So when I go ahead and I assign a task like this, this now shows up on the Kanban. We've got it right here. And then we can go ahead and just keep moving it down the line. We can go ahead and work with each of these different tasks and say, okay, what do we actually need to do? Like, let's say like, okay, like here's a task over here, like call affiliate leads. Like, so I have this assigned to Ty. Whenever he goes ahead and does that, he can just pass this into the done lane. Here's the immediate to-dos that we need to do. Here's all the things that we have backlogged over here with like that same card I made earlier for redo the design. Let me bring it back up over here. If I'm the project manager, I can organize these just like a Trello board about what actually needs to be done. So let's say I really need this design pushed. I'll put it here. And then once Tyler comes in or myself comes in, I take this task, I'm going to put it into doing, and I'm going to go ahead and work with it. Well, me being the project manager, I look in this doing lane and I can see what the team's actually doing right now. If they're moving these tasks and they're going along and they're completing these things, when they are done, they mark this thing, this task is done. 1 out of 1 task is done, 1 out of 2 is done. They can move it into the done lane. And then our little red boxes that you'll see on top of each of these, they get completed. So these notifications start going down. You'll see a completion percentage over here start to continue to go through while each of these tasks are done. And you can assign these tasks on each of the modules that you're working with. So same thing with the email sequences. When you're building out an email sequence, when you're telling people to go ahead, hey, write the copy for this email, go ahead and produce the image assets for this email. And you can be going ahead, collaborating, sending these messages. You'll get the notifications inside the notification bar for each of these things. We even have the in-app chat over here that is that you can go ahead and communicate with your team right on the spot directly from within the app. Or same thing when it's coming to agencies and the clients themselves. Once you have an established relationship with the client and you need the client to start producing assets, well, they can be inside a Marketplan, and you can assign those tasks to the client, and the client can get a very simple contextualized thing that what they need to do. When you join inside this Kanban over here and you click on your own face, you just see the tasks that are assigned to just you. So the client doesn't need to be overwhelmed by looking at all of this stuff that needs to be done. Like, whoa, there's a lot to this campaign. But they just go in, they click on their face and say, oh, I just need to do this and this. Okay. All right. Hey, all right, Doc, you got everything else from here. And you're able to just be able to create an organized system where you know exactly what's going on, tell the entire story, and you can do this for each of your plans and campaigns. And so now, like, how do you take that even to the next level? Because we heard some comments about 2.0 coming in earlier. 2.0, what we're doing is we're basically like taking this, but ramping it up to the place where you're able to bring those to-dos to even from like a dashboard management area where you can actually manage the to-dos even from the project screen and bring in all your tasks from all your different projects all in one place and communicate it to each of your members of your team. So there's like, trust me, there is further advancements that are coming inside of like what we're doing with Marketplan. And I also just want to bring to the table too with what we even did with Marketplan IO to start off with. Like Marketplan started off as our own MVF to put out an idea for, like, we originally created Marketplan as a lead gen app, and then we didn't realize that how much value came into Marketplan. So now we started building out Marketplan to be a legitimate, complete like business solution. A Marketplan being a way for agency owners to communicate with clients and be able to bring all these tasks together. And then even with what's going to be coming over here with 2.0, basically we're just taking this to even the next place of what can be done. But right now with Marketplan, as it is today, as Doc was saying earlier, I mean, you can just see it right here in front of you. You can legitimately take all these tasks right now and just go. You can even get preloaded funnels just like this and have your tasks already pre-created. You get all of like, you can take this right here, basic things that literally everyone needs to be done that come from these templates, and just assign the tasks out and go. So it's like, you can actually save your own funnel templates too. Like when you take and you build out a funnel, let's say you took the time, built out one funnel once, especially if you're an agency owner, well, now you have a template. You can go ahead and simply take and save the project, or you can clone the project from the home screen, and you can just go ahead and just start sending it and sending it and sending it and bring it, like take that same, like once you have a new client that comes in, because if you have an organizational system where you could say each of your clients have their own projects, let's say you have this example plan right here that already has preloaded tasks in this basic lead magnet. I can just go ahead, take this guy and just drag it into one of these. And when I drag it into one of them, then I'm just going to clone that project into I'm going to clone this plan in the other project, and I can just load up a pre-made template that is sitting there for my client that I can just jump inside out there and pass out to-dos and go. And so it's really just an incredible way for you to be able to very quickly bring the entire picture to the table of what's necessary to actually like produce the tangibles that are needed for you to have an organized way of marketing online.
Good times.
The long way.
Hey, this is good. I've got just a couple more questions. Any process and automations, dependencies, triggering? Do you have anything right now or planning in the future? Yeah. So I don't know the answer to that. I was like, I guess, I don't know.
So I feel like a lot of these answers like are going to be coming to like, yeah, 2.0 guys. So I'll say this because I'm very limited on what I can actually say right now. But be expecting, like, I got to think about what I can say here. So
Ty will wake up and just like he'll come out. No, you can't.
Here's what I can say is there's a piece of 2.0 coming out where you're going to have an entire center of managing that type of stuff.
Good times.
So I'll leave it at that.
You know, and so I'll just leave it at thank you very much for your time, and we'll wrap it up in a second. But like, guys, I really want to like, if anyone's watching Build With Me or from that channel, you know how much I push this. Like, I'm all about features. You know, we do all types of tools. We do every single night, but I'm really about action. Like, I know people are like, hey, 2.0, bro, like, if you're not on your game trying to get this done with this, like, what makes you think you're going to 10x your clients with 2.0? I'm like, I'm being real right now. Like, I definitely believe there's going to be features, but like, we have been with so many other tech companies talking about like, man, if they only had this feature, I'm like, so what are you doing right now? They ain't doing jack. Like, you've got to practice. You have to practice using the basic, because once you get upgraded, it's going to take you to the next level. But don't expect you to be miraculously better at marketing just because it's a tool. It's a tool. You're the marketer though. So I just really appreciate this. And listen, if anyone's like, wait a minute, Doc, you saying this because, listen, bro, they ain't paying me. Like, this is why I love this company. If I wasn't really passionate about it, and you know how many tools we go through this. So I just appreciate your time. Cannot wait for 2.0. I do not want Ty to have an aneurysm if you say too many things, but I just appreciate you showing what's possible. And we can't wait for the next couple of months when this gets premiered and everything, man.
I do have one big thing to talk about with 2.0.
Definitely.
Beta access is open right now. So like, if you guys are not already inside the Marketplan Facebook group, go in there. Like, we have the announcement pinned right there at the top. If you go ahead and you'll see in the thread where we are asking people to join the Marketplan 2.0, you can even just PM me on Facebook too. We're getting people in the beta right now to just finalize the testing of MPlan 2 because we need people. So if legitimately what your bottleneck right now is 2.0, like, help us test. Like, help us test. Well, we can get it out even faster this way. Like, help us test.
There
like,
you go.
I can at least just show you two screens right here.
Good time.
Here's right here my version of 2.0 is, and if I go inside of that same funnel I showed you guys before, this is the layout of that same funnel. And so it's like, we can really dive into a lot of components of what Marketplan 2.0 is going to be, but it's like, legitimately, like, you can do that right now. Like, that's in sync with version 1.0. Anything you would do inside the beta, it's synchronized. It's in sync with everything you're doing inside of here. Just message me. If 2.0 is, if you just want to get inside of 2.0, like, okay, help us beta test.
I love it, man.
Like, we'll keep going over here. I will say this though, in terms of announcements that's going to come, we do have an official launch date that we have settled on, and announcements for that is coming very soon.
Good times. Love it. Again, everyone, thank you very much for watching live. If you have any questions, just do #live or #replay if you're watching this on replay. Let us know your questions. For the ones watching in the Facebook group, let us know. If you're watching out on the YouTube channel, good times, and we'll be moving on from there. Again, Tyler, thank you so much for being here, and everyone watching live, we will talk to you very soon. Again, thank you so much for your time, and you'll be getting a replay